Grab your gear, let's hit the water. Paddle and fin, where the vibe gets hotter. Kayak fishing, straight talk, hear the stories unfold. Stop the freshwater adventures bold. With multiple hosts, yeah, the crew's all here. Casting lines in rivers, no need for fear. From the east to the west, we're making waves. Join the tournament hype, see how it raves. Paddle and fin, we're on the go. From the lakes to the oceans, let the good times flow. Fishing tales and triumphs will paint the scene. Jib reviews and profiles, you know what we mean. Bring special guests, every episode shines. This is kayak fishing, where the world aligns.
Chasing the 20-incher Susquehanna River podcast is brought to you by these great companies. Railblaza. Think outside the tackle box. Kayak cushion for them long days on the water. The Keegan brand, the official brand of smallmouth bass. Blue Mountain Outfitters, Susquehanna's local kayak shop. Ken's Jigs. Need a custom jig? Don't look any further. Nico Fishing Baits, next generation of soft plastics. And Undercover Baits, get hooked on Undercover Baits. Thanks for watching and welcome to the show.
That's 20. That is a 20.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chasing the 20 Inchers on here on the Paddle and Fin Network. So we took a little break for the Super Bowl, but we are back.
Yeah, that was probably shouldn't have took a break. Because that Super Bowl was pretty boring to me.
That was
not very
rough.
offensive game.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome everyone. Let's see who's here so far. Michael Bradley, good evening, gentlemen. Jeff Riddle, good evening, Jeff. And Scotty Hepner, what's up, fellas? Hey, we got a pretty good show for you guys tonight. We have the consumer marketing manager of Railblaza with us, one of our sponsors, one of our big sponsors for the show. He's going to be with us. His name is Keegan Lucas, and he's going to be joining us. But before we get into that, we have river levels and photos, and we're going to do a giveaway tonight, Sean. We're going to do the $50 gift card for a Keegan brand.
All right, sweet.
So pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
I am going nuts, Sean. I need to go fishing bad.
We need unfrozen water, right? That's been so frustrating. I don't even know how far I would have to travel to find water that's not iced over, you know.
I was just I was watching TV with my wife today, and I was just looking over at her, and I was like, I haven't caught a fish in like 3 months. And she's like, yeah, she was telling me a story. She was talking to her dad the other day about Valentine's Day. And she said she was going to fill the bathtub up with goldfish and let me fish.
I went up to the Great American Outdoor Show today and stopped in and visited John Steigler of Snagler Tackle. And he did a seminar at 11, up on the, the big tank with the fish inside. And I was really tempted to ask him if I could just go up and make a few casts just to, get that feeling back.
The itch.
Oh my
scratch
gosh.
the itch. Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, it was cool to see him, and bought a few spinner baits while I was up there. Couldn't leave without picking up a few spinner baits. So
nice. Was it busy up there today?
It was not as bad as I tried to go up on Friday, and I sat outside the freaking farm show for an hour and a half in traffic. All the lots filled up, and like there was just no place to go. And so I turned around and came home and went back up today, and it was a lot better today. So,
did you have a chance to see the river at all today?
I did. I drove over the river. It was completely iced over, both in York and in Harrisburg. Like
Oh,
still snow laying on top of it, you know?
yeah,
So,
I was messaging with Mickey Forbes back and forth over the week, and he was saying something about one of the places where they release warm water discharge,
mhm,
and he was kind of keeping an eye on that just to see if we could get out, but I haven't heard anything back from him.
gotcha.
Ice thickness, Jeff Riddle. How about ice thickness? Yeah, did it look like it was super thick, or
I I I can
hard to
only
tell?
imagine. I heard like Marburg was like 8 inches thick.
Mm.
I don't know how that compares to the river, but I imagine it's at least a couple inches, maybe, uh, so I have a feeling it's gonna be frozen for a while.
I heard somebody fell in
Yeah, I
ice
saw that.
fishing on a lake.
Yep, I just saw that on Facebook today or this evening when I was looking.
Yeah, they pulled him out. I guess he's fine, but
Yeah, yeah, he posted, "Thanks for everybody who helped pull me out," but
that was
yeah,
on
that's
Pincho, right?
scary stuff, yep.
Yeah, yeah. You're out there on the ice, guys. Just be careful. You gotta. I don't do that. It's too cold for me to do that stuff. I mean, even if I got into ice fishing, I'd have to get a tent, a heater, all that stuff, and we don't have we don't have that kind of thickness of ice in here in Pennsylvania to be doing that. So I kind of just stay away from that over the winter. Just
Yeah,
work on tackle and getting reels cleaned up and all that stuff. But just trying to stay busy so I can stay sane.
I hear you.
All right. Well, speaking of the river, let's get into the river levels. Um, right now, Harrisburg level is 4 feet 11 inches, and the river levels are brought to you by Railblaza. Think outside the tackle box.
So it's interesting. I wonder. I mean, the river levels. It's one thing to see the river level, but when it's iced over, what does that make it? How much of that is ice?
Yeah.
Um, so we'll jump over to Lewisburg next. Lewisburg is sitting at 3.48. And again, there's fluctuations there, but I can't imagine it's fluctuating crazy with the ice. So
Yep. And then next we have Marietta. Marietta's sitting at 34.03, and all the charts are looking basically the same right now with the little wave action going on back and forth.
yep, it's not oscillating too much. And last we have Towanda sitting at 2.85 feet. So again, hopefully, we'll get a good stretch of warm weather, and it'll be when the ice first breaks up, that's going to be pretty crazy. It's gonna
Yeah.
That's always a little bit of a crazy time when the ice flows finally break, because that all flows downstream and can take out stuff on its way down. It kind of cleans everything off. It's kind of crazy. Like one time when I was little, it actually flooded at the same time the ice break up, and it actually took cabins away down by the river.
Yeah.
So it just cleaned them off the foundation. It was crazy. So
I'd imagine I've never witnessed it, but I'd imagine that like when it does start breaking up, it's probably pretty wild to
oh,
listen
it
to all
sounds
of
like
it.
cannons going off. It's when
Yeah.
the ice breaks, it's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't
So
imagine. Michael Bradley saying this is the first year in a long time he's seen that much ice on the Hudson Coast Guard cutter as be coming out like regularly. So
wow, that's
yeah.
crazy. Just
And
cutting through it, open it up.
Larry Okonski says as soon as the ice melts, I am breaking out the jet. So watch out.
Oh, dang those jet boaters.
Yeah, if you guys watched our skit that we had played last podcast, you know who Larry Okonski is. Yeah. Larry, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching. All right.
Do
Well,
you want to jump into the photos of the week?
yeah, let's do that. Let's get into the and I had an idea. I wanted to we our last winner for the Keegan $50 gift card never contacted me. So
Oh,
what we're gonna do is the guys that start sending us photos between I guess the people that are watching, we're going to kind of have a vote on who should win for the best photo of the week. And then we'll give that $50 gift card to one of the guys that sent photos. And I think that's a good thing to do to kind of get people involved.
Okay.
So we're going to show the photos, and then afterwards in the chats, guys, tell us who you think has the best photo, and we'll give that $50 gift card to them. And we'll start off with Jason Young.
So Jason is somebody that I've fished with here quite a few times, and Jason's a good guy. So Jason, thanks for submitting that fish. Jason's pretty good. He usually outfishes me, so it was kind of cool to get to fish with him a little bit this summer. So Jason, thanks for sending that in. Appreciate it, bud. That's a heck of a smallmouth. Next, we'll jump over to Gary Horst. So there's a Gary with a nice smallie. Looks like some warmer times there. Maybe wistfully thinking of back to when the river actually looked like that. And next, we'll jump over to Jake Karen. Jake is another buddy from Undercover Baits, and there's a nice fish that he caught earlier this year. You can tell by the flip-flops that is definitely not a super recent picture, but Jake, thanks for sending that in, bud. We appreciate it.
20-incher. Yep. And then next we have JP Poole.
He said, I think he said
fish.
that was a pre-spawn from last year. So that time is coming up. You know, we can start looking forward to that.
Them patterns.
Oh, yeah.
When they have them patterns like that, that's beautiful.
And then our good buddy Mike Reinhold sent in not a smallie, but definitely he was into the crappie. So nice dinner plate size crappie there, Mike. Thanks for sending that in. Definitely appreciate that.
He looks mad I don't know if he caught a crappie.
Wonder if he ate it. I heard those are good eating.
Yeah, they are. Very good. And then last but not least, we have Scotty Hepner, one of our regulars.
And that's not a bass either, but I think he said that was his first PA bear. Yeah. So
yeah, nice.
Scotty, thanks for sending that in. Congrats on getting a PA bear. That's a pretty good accomplishment. My father-in-law got his first PA bear this year too, so hopefully that's a good sign of improving bear population. So yeah, so
looks like we got about 19 guys watching right now. So in the comments, what was your favorite photo? And we will send them the $50 Keegan brand gift card.
Awesome.
All right.
So
and if not, we'll if we don't, Jake, since it's a 20, yep, Jake. That's perfect.
That's true. That matches the podcast name. So
all right. Well, we'll let that marinate for a little bit, and then we'll announce the winner later on the show.
Awesome.
Well, Sean, you want to bring on Keegan?
We'll go ahead and bring on Keegan Lucas. So Railblaza has been a huge sponsor of our podcast, almost pretty much from the beginning. And we're finally getting a chance to bring on Keegan. So Keegan, welcome. Oh, he has no audio. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hi, guys.
So sorry, I caught you off guard there.
I got this little background thing going, and I'm watching the camera and the screen, and I watch my hand disappear. So technology. AI is going to take all our jobs.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Chasing the 20 Inchers, the Susquehanna River podcast. We are delighted to have you on, Keegan.
Yeah, guys, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been probably almost 2 years now that we haven't really got to talk to you. So only through emails,
text messages, and you and I have had a couple of phone calls. I think it has been 2 years. So yeah.
But really excited about our partnership with Railblaza. Me and Sean always get to try out some of the new products before they come out for sale and kind of give our feedback. So that's cool.
I saw
Keegan,
one of my pictures on the website, and I was like, "Oh, I took that picture." So I was like, "Cool."
Yeah. Keegan's the consumer marketing manager. So why don't you tell us like how you got into that role?
Well, so it's kind of a long story, but I'll cliff notes it as much as I can. I've got a background of about 20 years in media, not just radio. I started in radio fresh out of college, and that evolved into just a ton of other stuff. I mean, I was lucky enough to come up as social media was becoming a thing. Back in when I first went to college in 98, social media wasn't a thing. MySpace was not a thing. So to be a part of that evolution and to watch established brands, like I did 10 years with ESPN radio in Houston and got to do a lot of things, but to watch the professionals at that level evolve their product to coincide and really kind of meld it all together, and it was just, it's been a fabulous thing to watch. But with all of that, I did my time in radio. My last gig in media was doing and managing podcasts, a lot like what you guys do here, but with the Texas music scene. I also had, at the same time, I was managing a now discontinued project, but it was Texas country music. But I also did a podcast with a gentleman out of Matagorda, Texas. I don't know if you guys are familiar. It's different part of the country, but Matagorda is some of the top of the list fishing that you can come to the state of Texas and go out and do. Just world-class fishing up and down the Texas Gulf Coast. And we had a fairly successful podcast for a little while until the project as a whole was terminated. And that's where Railblaza came and found me. They were in the process of rehoming themselves, so to speak, transitioning from being in New Zealand to base of operations in Houston, Texas. And they wanted somebody to be able to come in and, have the relationships and build that and grow the brand, as I've tried to do over the last few years. So, of course, with y'all's help. I'm an expert editor in everything media, audio, video, all of it. So the list just kind of goes on and on. It's a lot when I think about it, honestly. So,
Yeah.
But that's, I've known about Railblaza for 10 years now, easily. I've had them on my kayaks. I've used the product. So when I was approached to come work here, I was already on board. I was already a fan. I already had the rod holders. I had the starports. I knew I had a good foundation to grow from. So it was really a natural connection, I think.
That's
Gotcha.
Awesome.
And you said you mentioned when we were talking before the show that you're a kayak angler.
Yes.
How long have you been? Did you start in kayaks, or were you a boat guy first, or shore?
No, shore fishing. Growing up with I've got memories. My dad's heathen kids, he would take down to a couple of places in Kemah, along, just inside the intercoastal waterways, Galveston Island, down fishing, some beach fishing. And that was primarily what we did at the end of a pier, sitting there at just hauling everything down there. And eventually he did end up moving us into kayaks. So I've done my time on boats. I've done plenty of boats. I'm also a scuba instructor on the side.
Wow.
So I'm familiar with boats, but it was primarily kayak fishing.
Awesome.
And it's really a lot of fun to be able. I love getting into the really skinny water and going where nobody else can go. You can't do that in a boat most times.
Now, are you mostly saltwater where you are, or do you get freshwater stuff? Okay.
Yeah, primarily saltwater. There are some fresh man-made lakes around the area, but I'm a redfish guy. I love redfish and trout. And you guys had a picture from a blast and cast that I did a couple of years ago where we were we limited out on redfish. It was a great day.
Yeah, that
About
looked
to
like
get
fun.
you. Well, my Dustin. I'm drawing a blank on his last name. He does a saltwater episode for Paddle and Fin. And I think he's somewhere in Texas. So I'm sure maybe Dustin could reach out to you and have you on his show and talk about redfish, because I know he loves fishing for redfish. So
They're a lot of fun, and oddly enough, and I might get a little flack for this, but in college I got pretty decent at bass fishing. And there, at least in my opinion, there's a little bit of overlap between the two as far as how you're fishing for them. And I'm a spoons guy. I know that's a lot of people don't like that, but you can use spoons for both.
yeah,
So
definitely.
What's the fight like with the redfish? Is it kind of like a bass, or?
Yes, it is.
Never
Yeah,
caught one.
they'll hit hard. It depends on the time of year as well. Right now the water's a little cold for them, so they're not hitting as hard as they do come the big October run. Those big October runs, they will slam it, and it's a lot of fun.
I bet.
Those big bull reds in the out in the surf, that's just too much fun.
Do they do like the same thing as bass as far as like the beds and all that stuff, or is it a little different?
It depends on the time of the season, but yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
One of the things that I look for when I go out is looking for the oyster beds, as well as
I've heard shell beds. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And that's what you kind of look for as far as what is it? I think it's the springtime is usually when I'm hitting those. And then when it gets more towards the fall, I'm looking more for the weed lines.
Okay. Nice. So I think I've had the very first Railblaza product I bought was a sea tug cart, and it was
okay.
I would say that was probably, I've lived at this house for 8 years, and I moved my kayak on that sea tug, so I know I've had it for at least 8 years. So it's been a long time, and that thing has just been rock solid the whole time. I had to replace the kickstand once because my neighbor tried to drag it with the kickstand down and broke it off, but that will happen. That's very cool that they have the kickstand right there on the like you can buy the parts and you can really do whatever you got to do there. And I was able to replace the kickstand really easy and relatively inexpensively. So that was huge. But I've been a sea tug guy pretty much as long as I've been a kayak guy. It wasn't too long after I got my first kayak that I bought the sea tug just to be able to move it around. And that's been one of my favorite products just because it collapses and could go in the
it can go in that front hole. Yeah. And just forget about it. It's lightweight. I was with a group of about 8 guys, and we were, instead of paddling all the way around a point, we were going to cut across it because it was faster, and we were trying to get set up for duck season of all things. And it was one of those instances where I wish I'd had a sea tug with us. And because just trying to get across this little, I don't know, just little island type land was a nightmare. And we were all loaded down. I don't know if you guys do hunting from kayaks up there, but you've got your shotguns, you got your ammo, you got your decoys, you got your camo, you got, the list just goes on. And of course we were doing another blasting cast, so we had our fishing rods and tackle and all that other stuff. So the kayaks were twice as heavy as opposed to just a single outing or sport. But they're a game. Those sea tugs are a game changer. Definitely.
But I mean, you guys have come a long way since then. I mean, back then, I think there was rod holders. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that was available back then, but the product lineup has expanded vastly since then.
Yeah. To incorporate just everything, and that's one of the big goals of the company is to hold on to that foundation that built the company around kayaks, but also grow it to be more of outdoor inclusive, because so many of these things, you guys know, can be applied in so many different other avenues, even day-to-day stuff, which the Titan Grip suction mount was one of the big ones that literally everybody can have one of those in their car.
I got one right here. Look at the
Yeah.
picture. Right there. I use that every day.
There it is. Yeah, they're
Every
great.
day.
And the anchor point phone holders, same kind of thing. Expand out.
Yeah.
Grow. If you're not growing, you're dying.
That new phone holder you guys came out with is freaking awesome. I stuck that suction cup on my window probably 6 months ago.
Still there?
And that one time, and it still hasn't come off.
Yeah, we're
rock solid.
We're real proud of those. We've got people using them down here in Texas, holding their trolling motors when they're driving their boats down the road. Your phone holders. I've got one of our other ambassadors uses the Titan Grip for her GoPro on her off-roading adventures on her Jeep, and she loves it. She swears by it up and down. So
yeah,
it's been good for us.
Yeah, I mean that you could use that for anything. Pictures of it stuck to the side of a golf cart with a phone on it, videotape, just playing videos of people's golf swings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah, if you want to see how you're actually swinging at the golf course, boom, you got your camera right there.
Yeah. Awesome.
And the phone holder itself is like, it is rugged. Like when you pick it up, you can feel that it is sturdy. It's not like, I don't think you could break it even if you tried. It is a hard piece of equipment. It's like, that was the first, when I first picked it up, that was the first thing that struck me. Was just like, I was like, man, this is good. And then it also, I love how it locks. So like, there's no chance of your phone.
Oh no. Yeah.
There, like, because I mean, I remember back when Paddle and Fin, we did like this, we all the hosts battled each other, and we got like a Rhino phone holder and like the knobs fell off, and the phone, like, it just didn't hold the phone very well. Your phone actually pretty much locks in. You adjust it so that when you pull down that little lever, it is locked in there and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Nope. We don't want you to lose those pictures.
No. You know what I use it for? I use it to hold my charging stations for my GoPros.
GoPros, yeah.
So I can run them all day long.
Ah, okay.
The charging,
something else I hadn't thought of, but I like it.
Yeah, it's just as big as a phone, the charging stations.
Yeah.
So it grips it so perfect, and I don't have to worry about it the whole day.
Oh my, I just did a video on Friday about adding starports to things, right? And I don't know if you guys saw it. It's on Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's all over the place. But we had a customer question come through, which I also am fielding those. So when you guys call the hotline for Railblaza, you're probably going to be talking to me. But the customer asked, she had a poll. She wanted to add another starport to it. How do you do it? And came up with a couple of solutions, but adding on to what Carl was talking about using the anchor point as a battery pack holder, that's actually really great for the camera booms, because we've got the rail mount 1925 that fits right on them, nice and secure. The wheels are always moving. They really are.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing too, that, I mean, everything kind of fits together. Like the ports, that's like, I know at one point I had just a starport base. I used it for my camera boom when I used my camera, but then I also used it for rod holders at one time. And it's nice because you can just, pop it out, put whatever else you want in there, and there, change it on the fly. It's nice. And it's also secure. Like once you lock it in there, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And that's one of I have to give credit where it's due. The guys who have been with the company, Andrew and Matt, really have dedicated themselves to helping make sure that all these products are functional and interchangeable and dynamic. And
you can tell a lot of thought goes into the designs, for sure.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a 30-second commercial, and we'll be right back.
I still like that commercial.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to make.
That sounds like it'd be fun to do.
Yeah, getting out there and just doing all the thing. And I'll be honest with you, that wasn't all in one trip. That was some of that footage is a couple of years old. So, but it was fun to put it together.
I know we talked a little bit about that you're the kind of the promotional guy. Do you what's the process look like for when they come up with an idea, or how does it go from like a concept to getting out to where everybody else is able to get it? Or do you know what that process looks like?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It is actually a long process that takes a lot of consideration and thought. It starts from, of course, let's do this. And then, how feasible is it? What's the, realistic aspects of getting product in, being able to manufacture it, being able to do all these things. And then, of course, market testing. You don't want to come out with a product that, one, nobody is going to use, but then two, nobody wants. And then all of that is taken into consideration. You mentioned earlier the Night Ops light that we will be coming out with here very, very soon. We've got a ton of people who have signed up on our website to get notified as soon as they're in stock. But that product went through, okay, yes, people want lights. Our light design, more than a couple of years old, it could use with a little bit of a refresh. Let's go through the process. And we found out in that process that there were certain aspects that you had to abide by U.S. Coast Guard rules and things that I didn't know. If you wanted to call it a marine light, you had to do certain things and meet certain standards. And that version right there in the picture, that was not even close to the first version. So we've gone, I've got one of the first versions around here somewhere, but it's gone through probably 5 or 6 different changes to get to what is finally going to be released, probably within 2 months.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just in time for spring.
Exactly.
Just in time. My plan for that is to, we were talking before the show. I have a trailer that I trailer my kayaks on, and what I want to do is put a couple starports, kind of like screw them into my trailer around the kayaks, and put in a couple camera booms and a couple of them lights. So when I'm rigging in the morning, I have all the light I need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Well, and that's one of the things too, is testing is a big deal for us, because especially with lights, you're talking about doing it when it's still dark outside, putting everything together. The last thing you want is, 30 minutes before the sun goes up for all your batteries to die and everything to go dark. We don't want that for you either. We've been there. I remember when flashlights were the orange lights that, maybe last a couple of D batteries last maybe an hour.
Yeah.
Nobody like. I'm aging myself, aren't I?
Those lights have lithium rechargeable batteries in them, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I don't see them lights dying in 30 minutes.
No, not at all. Not at all. But, that's
those are the things you worry about, though.
Yeah, absolutely. There are. And there's so many, especially when it comes to lights, so many of these. How's a nice way to say this? Not researched quality products out there that people get, I'll be honest with you, scammed on a lot. And we don't want that either. So, the testing of it, the checking of it, our VP of product over the last year, like I mentioned before, went through a lot of different changes for that light to make it what it is. We're very proud and confident of that product coming out here, like I said, in the next couple of months.
So what other new products are you guys excited about?
Well, we just released the track cleat, the 6-inch track cleat. I know you guys got some, and I know I sent an email to everybody that I sent these to about, real life functional product photos, right? You guys using them in the field. And I know it's frozen where you're at.
Yeah, that's why you didn't get any photos from me.
Right. Yeah. But very proud of that. Very excited about that. That was another product that went through about 5 or 6 different changes before it got to what it was. And that included rope testing, strength testing to make sure that it's going to hold the way it should. So we've got that. We've got
There's the cleat.
Yeah, there's the cleat, the track cleat. Let me see what else we are.
What about the nano grit, the
snips?
nano snips? Yeah,
Those are
snips.
They are out and available right now through the website. We get nothing but praise about these. There are actually a couple of them floating around the Houston boat or fishing show that was going on this weekend. They're clean cut. I recently did and put together a shark fishing rig and got 100-pound test braid on it and clean cut right through it like butter. I couldn't have been happier about it. So they are very, very good. But we've got those. We've got there is a push pole that is in works. That is so far the testing on the most recent version. We've got nothing but great reviews about its rigidity and strength. What else is in
tactical tracks dashboard?
Oh yeah, that one's they are finalizing that. That's going to be coming out here hopefully before the season, I think.
Can you find that on the website, Sean?
Let me see. What is it?
Yeah,
called?
it's up there. The tactical track.
Tactical track dashboard.
Yeah, that went through.
There it is.
That went through about 12 different changes, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah, let's share that.
Yeah, folks who you'll be able to put stuff all over that, and it's a solid piece of aluminum.
That definitely looks very cool.
2 graphs on that, and whatever else you needed on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
Just load that thing up.
Yeah,
but
that's the way kayak fishing's going now. I mean, some of the kayaks I've been seeing, it's just like basically a mini boat.
Michael Bradley had a question. He asked, "What's your best-selling or most popular item?"
Honestly, it's the Sea Tugs, hands down. The Sea Tugs. That is the second. I think would be probably the Trolling Motor Support XL. But
I would have guessed the rod holder.
Yeah, he may be real close between the rod holders.
Okay.
I haven't looked in a while, but I know that Sea Tug is our #1 bestseller.
Nice.
And that, like I said, that's been out for a while now. There's been a lot of some changes to that too.
Yes.
Over the years, but yeah, I still had the original one with the pads, and that thing pretty much carried every kayak that I've had so far. So
yeah.
I was kind of excited. I was just looking before the show, and I just recently got, in the last year, I got an inflatable kayak, and I saw that there was some Starport bases with 3M adhesive on them, so you can just attach them right to the inflatable. So that's something I plan on checking out. So
yeah, we also have that would be the rib port and the quick port, but then some of the inflatables are starting to come with 1/4-20 screw ins.
Yeah,
we actually have those as well as a Starport base to where you can just screw it right in.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And that actually segues to talking about the Mule paddleboard hybrid.
I did see that on there too. Yeah.
That That one we debuted at ICAST this last year in July, and that model is the first one. It is not the last. They are in the process of redoing a couple of things after that initial testing. I actually got a chance to take it out on this lake that's behind me in the photo in Colorado, and I had some tips. I had some ideas. The VP of product asked me, "Hey, you took it out. What did you think?" So, and we talked about it and how to make a couple of things better, space some things out differently, make those appropriate changes so it's a little bit more functional.
Is that an inflatable?
It is, absolutely.
Nice.
It packs up, I think, deflated, it's about 60 pounds.
Oh wow.
But it'll hold me, and I'm sitting at 250 right now.
You were looking a little jacked. You're looking a little jacked right now.
Well, you're only getting from here down, so it's all about the camera angles, okay?
Yeah. Well, we got a question in the comments.
Sure.
Does Railblaza have any horizontal rod storage?
Yes, we do.
We didn't really talk about it, but I kind of sent you something, and you kind of gave me a little bit of we're kind of in the works of that,
Well, okay, so that actually is a two-part. So we are working on a kind of a rack that fits on the kayak, but as far as like wall storage, see, those will work as well. So we have options, and technically, yes, we do have it, but we're working on yet another option and design, but it is very much in its infancy, probably at least a year out.
So I think he was probably referring to on kayak horizontal rod storage, I'm guessing. So I would say these are probably your best bet right now.
Yes. On kayak, yeah.
But yeah, they definitely have something that'll do that.
Yeah.
So
that's the cool thing about Railblaza. You could just put a bunch of them starports all over your kayak everywhere and put whatever has that starport connection on it and rig your kayak the way you want it.
Well, and even, we talked a little bit about lights, and I know a lot of folks are running batteries, which means wires, which means a little bit more involved of an install process prior to getting it into the water. But we have starport adapters that literally can you just have a screw and screw it onto any of these, waterproof lights that are out on the market. And you can run them to your battery, to your consoles, to all those things. So that flexibility, like I mentioned, that dynamic flexibility is something we're real proud of.
Well, I really liked the light pole too. That was one of the other products that I really liked. Compared to, I had an older one from a competitor that this one kind of just blew it out of the water in terms of brightness. 360 visibility. I was really impressed with that too. That was another product that was just rock solid. And I just noticed that you guys have one that just goes into a starport base that's like the bow, like the one for the front of your boat if you have a motor on it. So now with a motor on your kayak, you're supposed to have the nav lights, and that's an easy solution for getting that front nav light is just to get a starport base, put it up front, and plop that guy on there, and you're good to go.
That's what I have on mine, both my kayaks, and when we've gone out for those blasting casts, boom and done, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yep, they're great.
But other product wise,
so what kayak do you run?
I'm old school. Wilderness. I got a Wilderness Tarpon 140 and 160.
Okay.
And I've done all sorts of things to it. Actually, the front of mine, my primary one, which is the 140, is camo wrapped in shadow grass blades, because duck hunting down here, that's what we're using, and being able to back into the reeds and have that front end, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to drape any cloth or anything that you might worry about getting wet. It's done, and it works great. Love it. So that's been, and the underside is beat up. That's why I've been looking at getting replacements. But I haven't found anything I've fallen in love with yet, because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a minimalist when it comes to getting out there. I know what I'm going after. I know what I like using, and you know, I'm honestly, I'm not often fishing very deep at all. 20 feet max. That's
Wow.
about it. Yeah,
Okay.
no, some of these back lakes down here in Drum Bay, Christmas Bay, up the San Bernard River, they're not terribly deep.
Well, I know when I talked to Dustin about fishing shell beds and stuff, he was saying it's a lot of times very shallow.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like almost you're seeing the backs of them out of the water kind of thing. So
There's nothing better. There's nothing better in the morning than when you're putting your kayak in and you got a little fog coming off the water and you see that redfish tail come just slowly out of the water and right back. It's just beautiful.
Awesome. So, we kind of interrupted you there. You said there are some other things you were looking forward to.
Oh no, I was just we've got the stealth camera boom that has recently come out. We're very proud of that. That again went through a ton of revisions. The track mount tie down kit is going to be I think something a lot of people will jump on when they get that tactical track we talked about as well, because it does allow for a lot more additions and securing of gear with that.
I actually used that to tie down my battery because that was one of the few things left on my kayak that was not secured. And I've like, well, if I ever flip this thing, that thing is heavy and it's going to the bottom.
Nope. Yep.
And that's a freaking expensive investment. So
yeah, it is.
That was what I used the tie down straps for, because I didn't have a good way of doing that, and that made it super easy. I just put the mount on either side of it on the track and ran that right over top of it, and I can just tighten it down, and I know it's not going to go anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
If I flip. But I also thought, I think that would be really easy way to secure your crate, because a lot of times I can just run it through the handles of my crate.
Yep.
And then I know that my crate isn't going anywhere if I flip. Right now I just use bungees. I bungee it to the rail. So that's definitely a little bit more of a secure solution for that. So but yeah, I was excited to try that out. There's so many cool little things, like the rings, the binder, the
loopy loops.
Yeah. I had a Z-Man binder, like my Z-Man soft plastics, and in that binder there's metal rings, and they rusted like almost immediately, and they were such a pain to open and close, and they'd pop open, and the bags would just start coming out, and so I ripped them out of there, and I put those loop-de-loops in there, and it's so much easier to put bags in there now that's not going to rust, and they're definitely not just going to pop open on you. So that was one of the cool things I liked. So
I wanted to ask, because I mentioned I'm kind of shopping for a new kayak here probably next year, but Sean, what are you running?
So right now I have an Innovative Sportsman. It's an inflatable. And but I run a Hobie Outback for my tournament fishing that I do. But I'm also in the market for a new I'm thinking about getting the Hobie iTrek Angler when it comes out, because I like the inflatable I have right now, but I miss the pedals. I miss being able to do the easy adjustments with my pedals, like with positioning.
Sure.
I'm just not as strong as a paddler as I should be. So it was being able to just use my feet to maintain position while I'm fishing. I missed that with my new kayak. So probably for this upcoming season, I'm going to switch to that, I think. I'm still a little bit worried about Hobie, since it got bought out by like the company that owns Bass Pro.
Yeah.
I'm just I've heard a little bit of scary things about ordering parts and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but we'll see how it goes. It's still, I'm 99% sure that's what I want to do. But what are you thinking? Do you have anything in mind?
One of the things I've thought about, because I do fish shallow, and I do worry about oyster beds all the time. So kind of a pedal drive might be out for me, but I'm not against it. But I want to make sure I can stand up. That is the one thing that I really like. That is my must have. I want to be able to stand up and sight cast some of these redfish, which I can't do. But you know, staying, and I also don't want something that's terribly heavy. Some of the new stuff that I've seen is a couple 120 pounds, 150. I got like, I'm a big guy, but there's a limit here.
So that's the tough thing. There's if you want stability, then a lot of times the most
you have to go heavier.
Bigger.
Yeah,
they are bigger, but there are exceptions. Like my inflatable is super stable, and yeah, I think it's 70-80 pounds, something like that.
Okay,
but I also don't know how that would be running up on oyster beds.
Yeah, no, that's a no-go.
I heard those can be pretty razor sharp.
Oh, so. Absolutely. I had a buddy of mine. The last time we were out, he was wearing tennis shoes, and he stepped on one wrong, and it went right through, cut his foot. So
wow,
yeah, oh yeah. That happens all the time. So
yeah, that probably wouldn't inflatable, and that probably doesn't mix too.
No,
but
a lot of patch kits.
Yeah. Now mine is the Sportsman is the Osprey is reinforced. Like I've ran it up on pretty jagged rocks and stuff and haven't had it puncture.
Okay.
So I got to give props to them for that. And that was another worry about the Hobie a little bit, is just the durability. Like the one I have, the Osprey, is made out of the same stuff that they make like river rapid rafts out of, you know?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And it's doubled up in spots where, you know,
where they know it's going to get hit.
Like in the sides where, you know, you're bringing a fish, you don't, you know, or a bait up to the side of the kayak, it's doubled there. So it's definitely harder to puncture than, you know, some inflatables, but it's definitely, there would definitely be worries about oyster shells or oyster beds for sure.
Well, and every now and then you will hear people who will get bumped by bull sharks down here wade fishing. So, you know, one of those gets a little mouthy. It's something to consider. It's back there. It's back there. But yeah, inflatable for me
out.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard stories about gators bumping kayaks, and that kind of worries me. But you know, same with sharks. Like we vacation in North Carolina, and I watched guys fishing from sharks from the beach in the night at night, and they would send a guy out in a kayak with the hunk of bait in the back, and he would paddle it way out. And
get out past the breakers, out that second or third breaker. Yep.
And then drop it out there. And then, you know, they would just reel it up tight. And I'm like, you know, and it was just like a very simple kayak they were using. And I'm like, you know, there's sharks out there because you're fishing for them, but yet you're kayaking a huge hunk of bait out there. So I don't know, but they caught a like 12-foot tiger shark on the beach while we were there.
Oh, so that's what I want. That's my dream catch right there. That is a tiger shark. Get it, land it, take the photos, let it back.
That's exactly what they did. That was awesome. I could not believe it. And it took them a long time to get it.
Oh, forever. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a big fish.
And I guess it was like, there was like 3 guys, and then it was they had a 16-year-old daughter, and that was the first one. Like they were actually holding on to her to anchor her down so that she could reel it in. That was the first one she actually got into the beach, you know.
Now, how cool of a memory is that for her? You know?
My gosh, it was awesome.
That's huge.
So,
but funny story about kayaks and alligators. One of the ones that I have, my dad was using one day. The 16-foot Tarpon 160, and he paddled over an alligator. He heard it go tick, 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 as he paddled right over it, and it didn't seem to care about him.
I've heard that for the most part they will not bother you, but I'm not going to be the one to find out. So.
No, that's no, I'm good on that. I don't need that in my life. I've checked a lot of boxes. I've done a lot of things. That one doesn't need to be one of them.
Yeah. I'll stick to fresh water too.
So, we're coming up on an hour here. So, I wanted to give you a chance to shout out anything that you'd like to promote, or anything upcoming that you guys are have going on, or also where folks can find all of your social media stuff. Obviously, your website, Railblaza, you can go and see all the products, but you guys have a lot more going on social media wise as well, right?
Social media, very busy, very much trying to build. My big goal coming to Railblaza was to work Railblaza to become a household name, to where you say Railblaza and people know what you're talking about. So that has been my big goal, which means, where are the people? The people are on social media. The masses are on social media. So, whether it's the latest sales going on, or new product coming out, or like I mentioned earlier, doing a video about how you can add parts and other products to our gear to make it more adaptable to your application, it's all there. And so we've seen nothing but green arrows going up across every outlet: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're absolutely everywhere. And when I say all that, I also got to say, I got to thank people like you guys for helping us to do exactly that. Without your help, without the community that I'm trying to foster and encourage, it couldn't be done. So you guys are an integral part of this equation. So thank you for everything that you guys do for Railblaza. As far as any news, we just kicked off our President's Day sale today, and that's going to run through Thursday. We've got a ton of stuff on sale. One of our sea tugs is actually, like, I don't know, 80% off right now. It went from $175 to $79.
Wow.
I was shocked at that when they said, okay, let's do it. But, and that's where you're going to find notifications on when the night op lights are released, which is something I'm starting to work on now, so that we hit the ground running as soon as they arrive at the warehouse. So, but we're always working on stuff. We are very busy down here in Houston.
I was going to say, just the amount of time you reach out and you're like, hey, this is coming out. This is coming out. I'm like, you guys are busy.
we can't do it without you guys. So,
well, we appreciate you guys, the support on the channel as well. And, I love getting to test out the new stuff too. That's super fun, and happy to do that. And
send it when the water's thawed, right?
Yeah. Oh. But even just playing around with it in my garage, kind of, if I can do anything, that's fun too. That at least lets me think about fishing. So,
well, Sean, let me ask you this: how often are you pulling your boats into into the garage to work on them, to update them? How often are you doing that?
Well, right now a lot. And then, like I said, I just got the inflatable last year, so I did a lot of rigging for that last year. And I'm hoping to get one in the next month or two here before our upcoming season starts. So I will be doing a lot of rigging for that kayak once I get it. So I will be in the garage a lot in the next month or two, just rigging that out, getting it ready, and everything. So I spend a lot of time setting it up and tweaking it, like moving stuff around. Okay, maybe I'll put a rod holder in a certain spot, and then I'll go out and fish, and I'll be like, okay, that didn't quite work because that got in the way of this or whatever. And so I'm always kind of moving stuff around, trying to find the exact spot. Now, my Outback I had for 4 years. So by the end of, those 4 years, I had it pretty much set up where I wanted everything to be. And I kind of knew how it worked. But now with this new kayak, last year, I still wasn't 100% comfortable with it by the end of the year. And now like I said, I'm probably switching again this year. So it'll take me a little bit of rigging to do that. So,
when you're rigging out the new boat, are you going to do you have certain things that you're going to leave on your previous ones or not transfer, and then other stuff that you are going to transfer? Like
Yes.
what is going through your head as you're preparing to do this? Because I imagine there's a lot of thought that goes into it, right?
There is. I mean, you have the basics. Like, I know I want rod holders. I know I want my anchor and my anchor wizard. You know what's going to hold my anchor, and then my my storage and like where my pliers are going to go. The stuff that I know I use every time out. But then there's other things like I don't know that I'll even put a fish finder on this boat because I won't be fishing probably crazy deep water. I don't use a fish finder on the river because it's usually so shallow. It's not really worth it. So that's one of the things that I don't have to worry about as much. Although, down the road, if I ever get forward facing sonar, that's on the want list, maybe. So at some point I might be looking at, how am I going to put a transducer on this and that kind of stuff. But that's one thing that right now I know I don't have to worry about. But yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. Like, where's my battery going to go? How am I going to run the lines for the motor? One of the things I was going to ask you about, to just put a bug in their ear is under seat storage. Like, I've been looking for good under seat storage. Like on my other kayak, I had, the seat wasn't really high, so I didn't have a lot of space there. But now on my current kayak and on the kayak I'm looking to get, the seat sits a lot higher. So I'm like, that's a lot of wasted space under there. I'd really like something that I can, because I especially on inflatables, you don't have hole storage.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm looking for is a way to store like some kind of, bin or basin that I can store stuff in, whether it has a lid or not, that I can just pull it out, put stuff in there. And, that's my ideal storage. And I haven't found right now a good solution for stuff, what's currently out there,
Yeah. So it almost sounds like you want it to be able to move.
Yeah.
From under, so you can actually see what it's there as opposed to a stationary, I don't know, like a box or something that just kind of maybe attaches to the legs or something.
Or something, just like I don't need necessarily to have a drawer, but if I can just pull it out and then access
Slide
whatever is in there and push it back,
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
because
that was
this is great information because people fish differently all over the U.S. and when you are developing, products, you want to take those considerations like what you're talking about. Absolutely. There's a need for it. So, how you fish, how I fish, a little bit different, but it's still fishing, but finding out and learning. And I say that thinking in my head about a kid I was talking to at a tournament last year where he was catching bass at 60 feet. Right, in a Lake Cumberland. I don't fish that deep. The only time I do that is when I'm out on my buddy's boat and we're dropping line over a coral head at 60 or at 110 feet. But it's there's really no technique there. He knows where the coral head is. We
know
drop
where the reef
it straight.
is.
Yeah, we know where the reef is. Drop it straight down. Come up about 3 or 4 feet. And then the red snapper get it, and you fight it all the way to the surface. I mean, that's it. I mean, there's no, we're not. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. But it's different styles of fishing, and making gear that takes all that into consideration.
Carla,
I'm
did
with
you have
Ken
any questions
Glassner.
that you were looking? Oh yeah, I saw his comment there.
Yeah. I did not take my kayak anywhere where something's big enough to eat.
Oh, you're not living until you see that 12-foot alligator slide into the water, like 40 yards down from you, and you go the other way.
I'd probably need new
thank
shorts.
you. No, thank you.
That's why you don't buy the scupper plugs. You're fine.
Well, we're pushing about 65 minutes here. Keegan, we greatly appreciate you coming on and talking everything Railblaza and kayak fish and all that stuff. We hope to have you on again once everything.
Yeah, anytime you have
out.
something you guys are excited about, let us know, and we'll be happy to have you on for a bit and chat about it.
You guys, like when new products come out, you guys, your names are on the top of my list. You are the first to get new product. When we get these lights in, you guys are getting some. So
we appreciate that.
Carl, I don't know if I can send you 4 of them, but I'll try.
I don't know if I need 4. Those things look like they're going to be pretty bright.
I haven't gotten a chance to even test the latest one out. So I don't know, but yeah, they should be. I hope so.
Awesome.
But yeah, you guys, thank you for everything you do for Railblaza. You guys are a tremendous part of our growth, and we really appreciate everything you do.
No problem. Thank you guys for everything you do for us too. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, Keegan, it was great talking to you. We hope to talk to you soon, and we'll see you hopefully soon.
I hope so too, guys. I had a lot of fun. This was a blast. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Sean. Let's shut it down, brother.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks again for tuning in for another episode of Chasing the 20 Inches here on the Paddle and Fin podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks with our next guest, and excited to bring you guys that. But thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, for future shows, like, follow, share, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out our individual channels and accounts too. Want to be a guest on one of our shows and talk of adventures, gear, or products? Contact us. Thank you for watching The Noob Show with Matt Gibson, Chasing the Tide with Dustin Nichols, The Rusty Hook with John Rapp, The River Run with Adam Fraser Pross, May Contain Fishing with Daniel Woodcock, Chasing the 20s with Carlisle Esterly and Sean Lavery, Friday Night Bites with Brian Schiller. Thanks for tuning into the Paddle and Fin Network. Subscribe and always wear your PFT.